We are game programming till late. I'm doing well. Okay. So we're gonna combine some of this. So out here, this is when we're rendering for the Ocean editor and we decide what little icon to draw. And then way back here, we sort of redo the same logic about shift and control and whatever. And what I really want to do is just say target info. Let's say modified info is info. All right, and then as we do this stuff, so we say if control held, else do this, right? So modified Ocean present. Okay, and then that current direction. Dot flow equals false. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do all this stuff. And then we're going to say, we're going to call it state ocean output ocean info is I'll just say modified ocean info is modified info. Okay. So then we should be able to get rid of all this stuff and say which parameter is it? I think it's called, that's what VP is. We'll just see. vp.ocean.modified ocean info. We'll see if that happens. And that will let us get rid of everything there. And then after that, we'll fold that over into the other thing. Oh, we need to make that. What's the struct called? Ocean info, right? Modified ocean info is an ocean info. All right. That's a viewpoint, not a manip state. Okay. I think this is manips, right? Okay. Have I seen Brian Moriarty's GC talk called An Apology for Roger Ebert? Yes. If I have, what are my thoughts? That's one of the few subjects, it's one of the few Brian Moriarty's talks where I disagree with him very deeply about it. I mean, I don't disagree with him that the reasons movies are art are things that games are bad at and shouldn't try. Like, I agree with him about that, but that doesn't have much to say about whether games are art, frankly. And I think, based on some conversations that I've had with him, I think that if he were to give a talk on that subject now, it might be a little bit different than that one. But I don't know. You could ask him. Okay, what am I doing? I'm looking at the ocean panel. I got to remember what I'm actually doing. Okay, right? So can I still, yes, I could still change things, and it's correct. This is great. So we're economizing our code and making it less complicated. And that means that we'll have a better ocean editor soon. All right, so now instead of this, I'm going to change this in mo finish. So we're going to do this, and we already have map, and we know it's true. I think that is the thing. But you know, that apology for Roger Ebert talk, that was a long time ago, right? I don't know if it was quite 10 years ago. It is 2011, I guess. I don't know for sure. That's a while ago. It's quite likely that his opinions have changed in 7 years. All right. Ocean still works. Okay, now though, now it doesn't change till button up, which is fine, I think. So now let's, 'cause, do some things. Okay, mo hit test, mo manipulate. I don't really know mo render. Like, do I get an mo begin? I don't understand. I just want to say, I just want to see that again. So, okay, we're getting hit test and render. Every frame. Okay. I'm just learning how this system is supposed to go that Casey made. Okay, so we get manipulates and then a finish. We don't get a start, which frankly is kind of ass. I mean, okay. Here's what we do. I'm going to move all this stuff out. I'm going to say get ocean, update ocean current index. State. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to say if right. Okay. Set OK. Manipulator state, that's what that's called. OK, so OK. If we accept that hit, then let's do this. True. Well, actually, all this stuff goes in there. So if we're in bounds, successful update true, current index is this. Current y is IY. Okay. So then MO render for this will Yep, okay. Draws the whole damn grid. Now, for MO manipulate, so only during the hit test do we set the direction. Okay. Oh. Undeclared identifier map. Okay. How many words per minute do I type? I don't know. It used to be a lot when I was in school. I don't know now. I mean, it sort of depends on what you're trying to type. Okay, this still works. This is good. So now I want to draw some other stuff. So when we go mo render, we do all of this stuff. Okay. Okay. So then we'll say if state.ocean.currentIndex state.ocean.startingIndex You know, I'm not going to do successful update. I'm going to say current index. Okay. Okay, so well, what a pain in the ass. Okay, wait, this is not right. Okay, hold on. Okay. So wait. I should be able to drag the cursor already, and it'll just only drag one square. Because we're using current index in there and not starting index. So if I do this and I go, interesting, why? Why? Okay, hold on. Is immediate quad for debugging? No, I mean, it's for any time you just want to draw something and not think that hard about it. Okay, so this is weird. I don't understand why we're not updating this. Let me do this in MO render. I mean, I don't know why. Don't know why. But MO render. Okay, hold on. All this stuff, this shouldn't be in render anyway. All right, this should be down at the bottom. So we do this, we do this. We get this. We're going to do the modified info. Okay, so this really is more like you would write it. if you were not just hacking stuff together. I got to keep looking for my pizza. It's supposed to show up. I tried to order Uber Eats earlier tonight, and it took 45 minutes, and the dude canceled it. Like, what? So then I had to eat some snacks, and that was not very filling, so I've ordered a pizza. Okay. Okay, so the whole point of all this is we're going to set the info, the ocean info that we want when we click on the first square. Whoops. Okay. Whoops. So we got to do this because some rendering stuff snuck in there. Okay. There we go. Okay, something like that. We're just refactoring, except I still don't understand some things about what's going on, but like, I don't understand why when I drag the mouse around, this isn't, oh, well, I understand now because we changed it to starting index. Okay. So now, they claim my pizza will be delivered at 8:31, which I don't believe because there's not even a delivery guy. Okay, current index -1. It's like never not -1. All right. Maybe that's the thing that was clearing it. I don't know what accept hit means. Current 227. What the hell does accept hit mean? I feel like this is going haywire. let's just, before we try to figure this out, let's just get everything else working. All right. Hey, cool. Okay, this is fine. Well, no. Except now... Dude, what the fuck? Now it's like... Okay. This whole system is annoying me. That's so weird. Why was it? Okay. I'm going to print the time. Because I want to know if this is updating while I drag the mouse or not. All right. It is updating while I drag the mouse. So accept hit is returning false. Dude, what is going on with my pizza? Yeah, accept hit. What the hell? What is this for? Accept. Hit. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to move all this out anyway. Because I guess accept hit is about widget control and something. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. So if we are saying set direction, then check if we accept the hit and do these things. Okay, because these are all the things that need to happen at the beginning. Okay. Let's try that. Hey, it's working. It's working. This is good. This is very good. All right. Okay. That's, yeah. Okay. This is good. Okay. Okay. Oh, delivery guy is getting here. Let me put some socks on. Gotta be ready. Eat the socks. I was about to eat some socks. It was bad. It was bad. Where is this guy? All right. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to do this. Have run x0, y0, dx, dy. Get ocean run. State if have run num steps. Okay, I gotta go down. Back in a minute. Okay, people, we got brain food. Pizza with double garlic, pepperoni, sausage, Kalamata olives, onions, probably some other things. All right. All right. Two garlics. We have minced fresh garlic and cloves of roasted garlic. So this is a super garlic pizza. Wow, it's packing a punch. New York pizza with pineapples. Dude, I don't want to ban people from the channel. New York pizza and pineapple. It's like coming on this channel and talking about how JavaScript is the best language in the world. Dude, JavaScript is the best programming language in the world because the dough's so good because of the New York water. Do I enjoy living in San Francisco? I like some things about it, but it's not as good of a place to live as it was 10 years ago. Oh, okay. If we have a run, we're going to say for one the num steps blah, blah, blah. And that's going to be X, Y, X plus equals dx, Y plus equals dy. Let's just say num steps. Right? Whoops. Okay. So then now get ocean run. The job of that is to tell us what direction to do things in. Because we need to do that twice, once to draw what we're going to do and then once to actually do it. So get ocean run to num steps int x int y int dx int dy int. Okay. Cx, Cy, Sx, Sy is starting. Let's put those starting goes first. Say if Sx, well, let's say I dx is Cx minus Sx, I dy is Cy minus Sy. If I dx is equal to 0 and I dy is equal to 0. Well, no, let's just do all the logic. Screw it. Sx, okay. Actually, if greater than or equal to magnitude dy, else okay. Or less than 0. All right. Magnitude dy. Okay, so we're just saying here's the differences. Here's the absolute values of the differences. If we're more differing in x, then we're going to iterate over x, otherwise y. So in this case, the number of steps will be magnitude dx, and here the number of steps will be magnitude dy. Right? I believe it. Okay. Hey, look. Look, I'm dragging. I'm dragging. Yeah. Yeah. That's good action. Okay. Now, let's draw the correct bitmap the whole time. Okay. So we do that. So now we're going to be dragging with the correct bitmap. So I should be able to like left arrow or up arrow or whatever. Now it's interesting, I made the direction of the ocean independent from the direction of drag. So I could go like this and drag. Oh, that's ugly, but oh, it's because we don't set up eye color correctly or something. Anyway, so we do that, right? But you could actually drag backwards, or you could drag like clear, right? So that's how we're going to get our fast ocean clear as well. Now it won't actually do this yet. So So if I drag clear here, it won't clear anything but the first square yet. But that's why we made get ocean run a procedure, was so we could do that. But I want to get the color here. We definitely want that color instead. Well, not definitely, but I think so. So then, okay, get ocean run. Now, when we are gonna finish, we get the new value, and then if numsteps is greater than 0, we do one thing. Else, we're going to spam the undo, actually, because we don't have a concept of undoing many ocean values at once. But that's fine, I hope. Or maybe we do. Oh, maybe we do. No, we do, because we'll note all the changes. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do this. If numsteps is greater than 0, we do something, and then we increment x and y. And what is that thing that we do? We say index cursor index : equals y times map dot grid dot squares x plus x. Okay, and then we say map dot ocean values cursor index equals new value, right? And then, but before we do that, we note the ocean change. Cursor index, okay? Otherwise, we only do the starting index. Yeah. Technically, we could always loop even if numsteps equals 0. Let's try this. If current, well, yeah, let's do it. If state.ocean.current index is less than 0, return -1 0 0 0 0. Just a disaster. Okay, so if the number of steps is greater than or equal to 0, boom, we do that. So we're running the same code for one square or many squares. Actually, we want this to be in here because we will not have changed the ocean if it goes outside. Dragon Quest. Okay, so, all right. Boom. We didn't get the color still. We're actually one square behind. That's weird. Hey, look. Hey, look. Bro. It's almost like I could program. Okay, except definitely okay, it's our drawing that's incorrect. Right, okay. So our drawing is drawing the first square twice. But our modification isn't. So this part is fine. We still got a messed up color too. We already drew the first square in the loop above, so let's just draw the rest of the squares. So because we already drew the one at the start, we just do that. Okay, what is going on with the colors? What the hell? We are using that eye color, right? That's basically white. Oh, because of... Wait, what? What state do we do up here? Okay. Let's just frickin' immediate. Whoa. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Ha ha. We put this inside the loop. Hope somebody caught that. We were drawing those textures 20 million times. Now, sometimes other languages are beneficial. So like, if we were programming in JavaScript, our frame rate would have dropped so much that I would have known something was wrong. But we're not programming in JavaScript, so... Actually, who am I kidding? If we were programming in JavaScript, we would never have gotten this far. Okay, well, it's drawing more based on my cursor. See how it's getting darker, but like it's not actually... What am I doing? Oh, I deleted the for loop. What? Oh, right. Guys, I needed that brain food soon. I meant to just put that at the top of there, but I moved it way too far up. I really needed that brain food, but the calories haven't totally gotten there. All right. Drag, baby. Boom. 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 I can do a whole thing going left. See that? Look at that. And then I can clear it. That's so much faster. I'm going to enjoy doing more levels. Okay. River bulk edit is crossed off the list. I think I'm going to want to do some manipulator stuff later, but I don't know if I want to do it now. Not sure. Like, I feel like I want to clean up the manipulator stuff, but I probably should live with it a little bit more before deciding how to restructure it. Oh yeah, and we got our, see, I can undo and redo an entire line at a time, so that worked. That's great. That's great. Ocean man, take me by the hand. So good. And if I just want to do one like before, I could just do one. See? You don't have to do these crazy newfangled things if you don't want. All right. All right. Ocean editing now supports dragging. 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 Why don't you make the deleting so you can go multiple ways in one try, like going left and down? Because I don't really want to have to be that precise to stay in the square. I just want to drag and let go, and then drag and let go. That's all. And also, if you want to turn, like if I want to go left and then down, usually I want to change direction when I'm doing that. So then I would have to make it a mode where the direction that it paints is always the direction that you went. And that's annoying because then I can't use that sometimes, you know. Does that mean that you can clear a whole row even if the water in the row goes in several different directions? Yeah. Yeah. That works. That works. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is troubleshooter for the Nexus levels, or sanity. Sanity for the Nexus levels. Right, the Nexus levels are these ones that we've been working on. And, well, you know, they have complexities to them. So we're going to start addressing those complexities. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to load all the level sets. We're going to see if the first thing in any particular level set is a Nexus level, which we'll know by does it have any level entries. If it is, then we will well, first let me write down we need to check unlocking. Right, and then we need to check level presence, right? So we need to check that these all go to something that's inside this level set, and that everything in the level set is represented by one of these. Bidirectional. Bidirectional, with the exception of the overworld one, which goes to the overworld. You dig? And we can do those one at a time. And we could actually just make it run on one. We can make it run on the current level to start. And then we'll modify it to run on everything. Let's get sane. That is a good idea. Okay, so developer commands. Don't we have a thing? Oh, I guess we check outside that these are in the editor? I don't know. Okay. We're just going to put something at the bottom. This is going to be called Nexus Sanity. Okay. So okay. All right, so I'm going to say, for set.level names, if it index is equal to 0, continue. This is the Nexus level, skip it. Array add names to seek, comma, comma it, right? Okay, so for entries, if it.level name is equal to overworld, continue, skip that. If it doesn't have a level name, log print Nexus Sanity. I want to make a thing called entity string. So we're going to put the type e.entityType, and then the entity ID, right? Okay. So Nexus Sanity, we're going to say whatever has no level name, entity string of it. Let's call it entry, because we might do another loop in here, so we'll name it entry. Okay. If it's got no level name, do that. Array find, I should remember how array find works. So we're going to say found index, array remove, unordered remove. Removed, array unordered remove names to seek, comma, entry.level name. If removed is equal to 0, okay, let's make, we still need this. Names to seek is an array of string names to, we'll put that in temporary storage. Okay, if removed is 0, then we say refers to level name whatever which is not present in the level set whatever. So entry.level name set.name. Okay. Removed is greater than 1, which is present multiple times in the level set whatever. Okay. All right. Now, for names to seek, let's put the word error in front of these. For names to seek, level is not, has no level entry in the nexus, period, comma, it. Boom. Isn't it great programming in a language that's not C++-like? Just write all that code. Oh, well, let's be in the editor. Well, we didn't report an error. Let's introduce an error, like there we go. Boom. We got 2 errors, right? That this didn't work and then this did. Whoa, what's going on with our text selection? It's not clear in the frickin'. I'm going to write down that bug. There wasn't even fast, painless compilation, but like I typed all that code and it parsed and ran the first time, right? Like I'm not tripping over like syntax or semantic complications or anything. It was a non-trivial, like, you know, it's not rocket science, but like, you know, I typed in that whole thing and it just worked, right? It was integrated by the metaprogram. It was called directly and so forth. Okay. However, we're not going to make this an editor command because I don't think there's any reason to require the editor. We're going to put it in developer commands. All right. So this is good. That's one of the things that we wanted to test for was the level presence. The next thing we want to test for is unlocking. Test for completeness of referenced levels, whatever you want to say. And then down here, test for reasonable, test for unlocking problems. Okay. Let's just say incorrect referencing. Test for unlocking problems. Okay. So now we have our level entries again. We're going to say if it dot, what was it called? Nope. If it dot enabled t continue, because we only care about things that are not enabled. All right, so if it dot unlocked from left, right? So sanity ID. That's all we're really going to check for right now, I think. Okay. So if it's enabled, then we don't worry about it, right? What we want to make sure is that things can get enabled. So if something is unlocked from left, we'll do the same test that we do during gameplay. Oh, where is that? Sokoban? We do this. Error. This is marked is unlocked from left, but has no level entry to its left. Entity string no entry. We didn't call it it now, we call it entry. Okay. Otherwise, well, and also, no, yes, yes, no, no. Sanity has the word it in it. All right. So if we sanity ID of entries a level entry, ID, PID, manager dots, manager ID. If there's no other, we log print error ID string. Error. This guy tries to use unlocked by ID number, whatever, but no such entity exists. Okay, entity string entry and ID string of ID. All right. And we return. If other.entity type is not equal to level entry, but that entity is not a level entry. All right. And then, okay, we do these sanities, and then if entry, oh, you can do this up here. If well, is unlocked from left, but also uses unlocked by ID, comma entity string entry. Okay, look at that. This is starting to look like code. Oh. Managers, entry to entity manager. Almost worked the first time, or almost compiled the first time. One little mistake. Is this called Nexus Sanity? Or, yeah, Nexus Sanity. We totally broke that. Wait, what? Okay, this is confusing me. Because all of this, oh, we're calling Open Entity Manager. The problem, okay, so the problem is, see, here we didn't report a problem. The way that we're getting the Entity Manager is bad. We're going to have to fix that. First, let's induce a problem. Unlocked from left, and then this one will be like 16165. Oh, we should check for a self-reference also. Okay. Unlocked from left, but also uses unlocked by ID. Okay, this one, oh, this one starts unlocked. Let's make this one unlocked from left. All right. So these are working. Although we're returning, we're not continuing, so we're only reporting one problem. Oh wait, we returned there. What's going on, man? Why? Well, 16165, 16171. 16165 has both problems also. Oh, okay. Now, what's happening is we have log deduplication happening. So now that we reported both of these, or all of these, like we reported this one once, so it didn't happen again in this report. And we've reported all three of these, so now we're getting no output. So we want to turn off deduplication. Okay. So okay, and then the other problem is this. So how do I tell if I'm in the editor? In and is it? Program mode. If manager, entity manager, if program mode is the program mode dot editor, else okay. So now I should be able to run this from out here. All right, well, there's no problems. And now let's introduce some problems. So we've got this, and we've got this, and we'll run that. We'll run it again. Every time it's reporting the problems because we turned off deduplication. Okay, one more thing I want to check for. If you accidentally set your unlock to your own ID, then you're never going to get unlocked, right? So if ID is equal to entry.entity ID, is unlocked by its own entity ID. Whoops, entity string entry. Okay. So then, if I take this one, and it's 16-173, and I say, well, it's unlocked by 16-173, and it's unlocked from left. There we go. Unlocked from left, but has no level entry to its left. Unlocked from left, but also uses unlocked by ID, is unlocked by its own entity ID. So many problems that we just introduced, but that's great because they are reported. Okay, so now this is part one. Command checks one individual nexus level about to be expanded. Okay. Okay, so now what we really want to do is check every nexus level in the game. Can I upload all these to YouTube? I don't know. I always decide if I feel like it. I was thinking about uploading last night's 5-hour stream because that was pretty productive, but I don't know. Is Sanity ID a closure? No, because it doesn't need to refer to any external variables, so it's just a locally scoped procedure, right? This no name in here references anything outside of this. Okay, so this is all good. All right, well now we want to get all the level sets. I have something that already does that. Preload all level sets. Okay, I'm going to do this. Preload all level sets. For sets, we'll look up the first level. Okay, so whatever. I am going to want to eventually call Sanity 1 Nexus down here. And that is not going to be a command, right? So that's the command, and we're going to do that. Okay. This was part of our boilerplate before. So okay. There we go. So we're going to make an entity manager. Defer unmake entity manager. Okay. So we're going to reset entity manager. We're going to load entity user manager level name, right? Level name is set.level name sub-0. Nexus levels are always the first ones. Also overworld. Okay, so we load. If not loaded, log print nexus sanity error unable to load level from set whatever level name set.name. Continue. Okay. Well, we loaded it. If manager by type level entry, then sanity1 nexus manager. We'll print for now. Print sanity, comma level name, just so that we know that we're doing it. Oh. Wait, make entity manager returns by value? Crazy. All right. Dude, I'm really learning how to party with things by value. Okay, 394. Entries. Entries. Oh, because right. All right. Well, it certainly is reporting errors that are not errors. Okay, we screwed something up. It always thinks we're talking about river maze sets. Oh, because we okay. Because we get context current level set here, which is not what we want. That's the one that we're on, which used to be correct, but now we want the one that we want a sanity. So there. Okay. Let's try this again. See if we can find some legit errors. We're definitely loading some things. Okay. Level entry has no level name. Not present in refers to level name. Oh, well, the no level name is redundant with this, so we shouldn't report both of those because that's spammy. But and we shouldn't, if it's overworld, we got to fix this. If it's overworld, we should not expect things to be in the same level set. All right. Okay. Multiple times in the level set. Okay. So for names to seek, we're just not going to test the overworld because it just works differently. If okay, but we can still test for unlocking problems in the overworld. All right, and then has no level name. Else, right? Ta-da! All right. Great. Local variable, I guess. Okay, so now I'm not reporting the level set anymore. Let's just let's actually let's just do that so that we don't have to put it in every error message, but we'll see in the log. And we'll also be able to see in the log which ones it checked and if it missed one for some reason, right? All right, so and if you're looking at a color-coded thing, okay. So in Cliff's Nexus, no level name. Heroes 2 Nexus, no level name. Dude, we're finding legit problems. So, commit. Oh, you know, there's one other one that we should look for. We should look for things on top of each other. Let's fix these problems first. Okay. Yeah. You noticed I gifted you a subscription to Huskers. I was in Huskers' channel once, and I did the Twitch random auto gift thing, and so you might have been in his channel at that time. It was a couple days ago. Okay. Because, you know, he's really good, so I felt like, hey, you know, you can donate to the streamer, but that doesn't necessarily grow their community. But if you gift people some subs, you know, then they'll at least know that he's live when they go to the Twitch front page, if they don't sub to that many channels. And that could help grow his community a little bit. So I figured that was a better way to give a donation. All right. Maybe it prefers, maybe it's not completely random. Maybe it like prefers people who have been on my channel or something. Because I didn't gift that many. Okay, so oh yeah, I was gonna fix these. Cliff's Nexus. 28.6. Ah, okay. Overworld. Heroes 2 Nexus. Uh, 28.314 and 28.372. Oh, good. This should be... Oh my god, I totally didn't... What? I screwed up real bad. 6. All right. Good thing we did this. 6, 7v3, 8v2. 5, 5v5. Right. So we just missed this one, basically. 28314. But it's the overworld one again. Yep. Overworld. Mirror Nexus. Or load. Mirror Nexus. And that's going to be overworld. And 28.6. Unlocked from left. Yeah, no, it's unlocked by 28.4. See, see, it's good. It's good to have these sanity checks. Otherwise, you won't catch those. All right. Here is 3 Nexus, 28.314. I mean, otherwise, you know, it requires like manual testing to find these things, and you might miss it. Because like, if a level in the middle doesn't unlock, the only way you would know that is by coming out on the one before it, which is a low probability thing for a tester to do. 28.314. Oh, overworlds. All right. All right. Well, not all of our level sets are converted to Nexuses yet, but the ones that are seem to be good. Data fixes as reported by Nexus Sanity. Thanks, Nexus Sanity. All right. Great. Should you axe a mechanic if you can't find many interesting things to do with it? Well, why would you keep it around? Why do you feel that that's a question even? Like, what is it doing for you if you can't find interesting things to do with it? Like, I don't even understand the question. Because otherwise it's just a boring game, right? Or a game with an exciting part and a boring part. Oh, yeah, let's put in our check for all right. Let's run that. I don't know. I doubt we'll catch anything, but because it's likely that if there was a thing buried under a different one. Oh, we should also check that their z equals 0. I think. Because right now there's no way to get to it if the z is not 0. Anyway, I don't think this will report anything. Wait, why are we still getting no level name in Heroes and Mirrors Nexus? What? load heroes and mirrors nexus. I guess we never fixed this one. I don't know. All right. Yeah, we didn't get a new position error, so. Okay, I'm going to get another slice of pizza. Any questions about what's going on? You need to check if EI is different than EJ. No, because, well, you can't. So by definition, you can't have the same entity at two different indices in the array. That's an invariant that the rest of the system, you know, it's one that you rely on, right? And so I and J are never going to be the same because J starts at I plus 1. So you can't ever get the same entity. So what's going on out there, people? I mean, this again is everything I wanted to do tonight. We're going to do more, but we've just been owning. Like, we did the ocean drag, and we did our sanity check routine, which is, you know, our sanity check code is from line 326 to 457, so that by itself is 130 lines. Went very quickly for what it is. Chat is dead. Nobody wants to say anything. Come on, people. You don't think a mechanic necessarily needs to stand on its own. Well, I think if a mechanic doesn't hold its weight, it weakens the rest of the game. I mean, not everything has to be equally important, that is for sure. But if some things really don't contribute, they weaken the game, I think. What kind of pizza? It's a pizza with a lot of garlic, of two different kinds of garlic, and then pepperoni and sausage and olives deep dish. Digging the new Nexus Jam. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to see, we're going to have to decide, for anyone in the chat, EAA there actually works on this game with me. So, yeah. We're just sort of starting to figure this out. I'm not exactly sure that this is the way that we're going to want to divide levels up, but it seems better than piling an insane number of doors on the overworld. And it seems better than not giving people random access, because, you know, you get into one of these level sequences and they could be pretty hard sometimes. And so this is the attempt at how to give some nonlinearity to the game. And also, you know, it gives us opportunities to do some nice visual things, right? Like each of the nexuses hopefully will look really nice, assuming we decide to do it that way and stuff. Like it could be its nice summary area, or, you know, summary of the ideas in the levels in that area. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, for sure, the overworld that we've had till now is basically nothing, right? It's stupid and sucky. So at least we're building it into something that's more like a real game, and we'll see. We'll see what it turns out to be. But it's It's looking promising. I don't know if you've updated, but I also just reformatted the overworld a little. It's still nothing like serious, but like I at least spent 10 minutes worth of effort on doing something. I don't know if this is the concept that we're going to go for, but I just wanted to pretend like there was an overworld, so I did something there. That's Heroes of Sokoban now, because the idea is just it's the closest thing, and we would sort of lead you there. Like we do something like this in The Witness too, where there's a very definite path that kind of calls you that way, and then there's maybe some other paths that you can go, but that are less called out, right? And so sort of mocking that up. So this is Promised on the left now, and Heroes of Sokoban is up here on the north. Yep. There was an overworld. It was just even more packed together and sucky than it is now. It's still sucky, but you know, it's starting to be. So I think the concept, I also pulled in the camera a little bit. The camera used to be much more zoomed out, and I think it was a little too much. It used to be the same as in Skipping Stones. So I think the idea, for some reason, it feels to me like a nice idea is just you enter the game, and on the main screen where you start, there's no actual gameplay doors to anywhere else. It just gives you possibilities of where to go, and it looks nice, and it establishes whatever location it is that you're in. And then sort of each of these 3 screens in each direction is for one of the major games. So that's 1 major game, 2 major game, and then, you know, if you think of Mirror Isles and Skipping Stones as related, they're by the same guy, then 3rd major game. And we can theme each of these areas very specifically based around those major games or whatever. And then, you know, all the side levels would sort of be satellites around these 3 big areas or hidden in nooks and stuff. So that's all. The camera is on a grid. Yeah, you specify how many squares X and Y is in the grid, and when you go past that invisible line, it pans over, right? The unlocking looks a lot like the wires between the panels. Yeah, well, that's super temporary. These red lines, don't take them seriously at all. Those are just placeholders for, hey, we're going to have some visual way of linking these together so that you know what unlocks what. I don't think it's going to be like Witness power cables. I think it'll be more subtle than that, because you usually don't really need to know or think about it. Like in The Witness, you use the power cables to help you search the environment to find things, right? In this, it's not really like that. Like, you're going to see the level entries right there, you know, wherever. So isn't running a studio on the West Coast getting really expensive? Yes, it is. Dude, I fantasize all the time about shutting down the office. I'm about to sign a rent check and a contract for 2 years office rent. Oh my God, dude. It's terrible. It's crazy expensive, and the quality of life is lower than it used to be because it's so crazy expensive. So, you know, But it would be very disruptive for the company if I said, hey, everybody, I'm going to shut down the office and I don't want to pay California salaries, so move to Arkansas. Like, that would not be good. You know, we're just going to have to make a lot of money. That's just how it is. It's grim. Do you have an escape plan? Not really. I mean, if the company goes out of business, I will still survive a little bit. I won't have any savings, but I'll survive. Come to a smaller city like Sacramento. The problem is you still pay California tax in Sacramento, which is absurd. California's tax rates are crazy, especially now that they're no longer deductible from federal tax. So Sacramento is definitely cheaper and may even have higher quality of life in many dimensions, but I don't know. You still take the California punishment. You wish the game industry was more willing to fund ambitious artists without infringing on their creative control. Well, it's not about getting funding. Like, we have enough funding to make games right now, you know? What it's about is whether end users buy the game. And that would be the same. Like, if we took funding from a publisher to make a game, people still have to buy the game or we're out of business or at the publisher's mercy anyway. So it's not a thing about publishers infringing on creative control or not. It literally is that you have to make things that people want, you know? In Hawaii, it's 4%. Yeah, that would be much better. Did I ever consider using map transitions like Steven Sausage Roll? Not really. I think that's an interesting thing for that game, but I think it's an idea. So Steven Sausage Roll is a really big game. This ties into that mechanic question that we just talked about. Steven Sausage Roll is a really big game with a lot of ideas in it. And for that overworld, it does a really interesting thing where the overworld map is all the level maps put together. And it does this transition where the ocean splashes away or splashes up and stuff. For something that feels that major over a game that long, you need to get a lot more juice out of it than Steven Sausage Roll does. You need to do things with it in different ways. It is interesting because relatively late in the game, they do something surprising with that. Or he does, because it's a one-guy game, right? So that's good. But prior to that, it doesn't really do anything except be aesthetic. And so it kind of feels flat, right? So if it were my game, I either would have figured out more things to do with it or maybe just not done it or changed the way it happens in some way over the course of the game. I don't know. But ideas just don't last that long without becoming monotonous unless they change and grow. Well, so whoever's saying in Sweden income is taxed to hell, that's just the state tax, right? So federal tax is quite large. You know, if you count all the different taxes and not just the income tax, federal tax is, you know, if you make decent money, it's in the 40-something%, right? And then you add your state tax. So my federal is like 40-something and my California is like 13. So I pay like 57% tax or something. And then I have to run a game company after paying that. It's crazy. It's nuts. Can I elaborate on what I said about ideas inherently not being that interesting? I don't know, what do you mean, just now? Or what? I mean, a lot of ideas are boring, aren't they? I'm not sure I understand the question. Where does all this money go? I have no idea. I have literally no idea. Having the support of a big publisher would also mean a bigger public profile for the game, so more potential buyers. That is true, yes. And you know, I do talk to publishers now and then just to keep the lines of communication open. But yeah, I mean, usually they just want to mess with you. So, like, I've been in the games industry a long time. I've seen a lot of developers go out of business, and I've seen how they go out of business. And a lot of developers go out of business by their publisher messing with them. So if you want to survive, it helps to just remove that possibility from the equation, right? To not have a publisher who's going to mess with you, because that's quite possibly the leading cause of death of developers. Actually, it's the leading cause of death of developers who sign with publishers, for sure. I was saying on Stone, ideas get old if they don't evolve. Yeah, so like, you know, if you have a puzzle game with like 300 puzzles in it, and you do something that seems dramatic as the intro to every puzzle, after time number 300, it's going to be old, right? Isn't it? Like, I don't know how else to explain that if you don't see it. I wouldn't rule out us getting a publishing deal with EA because it's always possible, but I'm definitely wary of that kind of thing for sure. Concerned Ape, creator of Stardew Valley, just dropped his publisher and went full self-published. Yeah, I mean, Stardew Valley, most of the people are buying it because they just heard about Stardew Valley and liked it. Like, I think the publisher, isn't it 505? We almost signed a retail version of The Witness with them, if that's who it is. Let me look that up. The reason we didn't, yeah, they published Stardew Valley. Yeah, I got a bad feeling about them due to some stuff that happened during negotiations, so I dropped them, and we never did a retail version of The Witness because of that. But like, they don't, you know, the reason Stardew Valley has sold well is because people like Stardew Valley, not because they heard about it through that publisher. So that publisher is just taking, I don't know how much, but a significant percentage of the Stardew Valley money, which is a lot of money for nothing, right? I mean, they probably got some retail copies onto the shelves, but that's probably not much compared to how much that game sold on Steam. So yeah, it's... Your publisher has to actually be doing something to deserve it. What exactly do I mean by messing? Okay, so for example, suppose you miss some milestone. Well, okay. Suppose you have some set of milestones, which is just like in the contract. It's like, we agree to do this thing by this time, right? And when we do this thing, then you give us the next money. Well, there's all sorts of things that could happen, right? One is the publisher can always say, oh, that milestone, we don't think you did a good enough job. Take it back and do it more. And then you don't get paid until you resubmit the milestone and they accept it, okay? Well, what does that mean? Well, suppose the publisher suspects that you're going to run out of money if they don't pay you for a while. And then they keep not accepting the milestones, And then you're desperate and they're like, well, you know, you guys don't seem to be doing that well independently, but how about if we buy you? And then you'll have plenty of funding. And then you're like, oh, great. And then you go into negotiations for them to buy you, but they know you're going to starve if they draw out negotiations for a long time. So that they do that, they keep pretending they're going to sign something with you, right? And then they keep finding reasons not to. And after like 6 months, you have no money. And then they buy you for real cheap because that was the plan the whole time. And then they take over your game, right? Like some variant of that story has happened so many times, right? Or maybe they just don't want the company, but they're like, look, you just went out of business and it says in our contract that you forfeit the IP to us if you fail to develop the game. Well, obviously you failed to develop the game because you went out of business. Never mind that it was because we wouldn't accept your milestones forever and then we pretend negotiated to buy your company, but oh well, we own the IP now. Like all sorts of stuff like that happens all the time. It is how business works in games. It's very sad. Is Kickstarter the best way to go for broke indies? Well, I don't know how feasible it is to get enough money on Kickstarter anymore. I feel like the days of Kickstarter are in the past. Maybe Patreon, right? Eric says, suppose you spend 4 years working on a giant MMO puzzle game and then 1 month into launch, publisher decides to shutter their online division and to tell you just to switch it to single player game, theoretically. Yeah. I wonder if that has ever happened in the history of video games. Being totally independent is ideal for sure. I just want ambitious game makers like you and a couple others to be huge household names in the market, like Guillermo del Toro or Stanley Kubrick for film. Yeah, that would be nice, man. But even so, even someone like Guillermo del Toro or Stanley Kubrick, like, if you look at film, those guys are kind of mainstream, right? They're like the arty side of mainstream, but they're more mainstream than like I am as a designer, right? Like Stanley Kubrick made like war movies and horror movies and stuff, right? And well, 2001 was not really mainstream. But like compare, like, you know, I'm more like somebody like frickin' Wim Wenders or, dude, I don't even know. Somebody like that. So it's a different step, you know. So like, what's his name? The BioShock guy is more like Guillermo del Toro, right? Chump face. What's his name? What? Ken Levine. Yeah. Ken Levine is like Guillermo del Toro because he's trying to be kind of arty, but he's also being mainstream, right? I don't know if I could compare it to Tarkovsky because I don't know, like, he was in it, like, trying to make films in communist Russia was a totally different situation that I'm not even going to try to compare it to, right? So we have to compare to Western filmmakers. Like Tarkovsky, man, like, because somebody in Mosfilm decided they didn't like him because one of his movies he made 4 movies ago, they were just like, whoops, we lost the footage to Stalker, so he had to make the entire movie again, right? So bad, like the shit that guy went through. And then, of course, people are thinking that maybe he died from cancer that he got by filming in this polluted river for Stalker, which maybe he got that cancer the second time he went to film the movie the second time, right? Because he was so much exposed to it. What would be a thing to be considered well, you know what mainstream games are. Like Call of Duty is mainstream, right? Like, or, you know, Battle Royales, or like, you know, Hearthstone. Like if you're trying to make that kind of a thing, like something that's like a big hit, or in the neighborhood of a big hit, right? then you're kind of mainstream. Whereas like The Witness is such a weird game that no high budget version of that game ever would have been made, right? So it's a different thing. How do you lose footage to a movie? Well, you take the movie and you go out to the trash can in the back and you throw it in the trash can and you say, oops, we lost the footage. Even Pixar almost lost a movie in the early days. I never heard that one. Would FTL be mainstream? Not totally, no. No, I don't think of it as mainstream. Okay, what am I even doing? Well, we could fix this console bug that got introduced at some point. Let's do that. You know, Ignacio has been working on the renderer, and it's quite possible for things like that. Actually, does that happen in both windows? Because you can select in the input. Right, so I can select here. It works on the last line for some reason. Okay, so that seems to work. So it's just on the non-last line. Yeah. Maybe it's because we go backwards. Yeah, I think we start here and draw backwards, and so the first time it works, and after that it doesn't. Okay. All right. Selection. All right, so we got to set the texture to white. That's all we got to do. Hey, it works. Look at that. It's quite possible that that bug has been in there the whole time, and it's just the changes in the render system exposed the bug, or it's possible that the rewrite, you know, forgot to set the texture. Like, bugs can get introduced different ways. Can something be really good in mainstream? Sure, yeah, absolutely. And also you have to define really good. Good for who? Kubrick was sort of in a different league than Del Toro. I agree with that. Yeah. Let's play around with the Nexus images now. We could align those to the camera. We were talking about that, right? So if I like unlock all these, like just the perspective on these is making them look kind of weird, right? So I imagine that whatever way we use to display these, they would be more toward the player, right? So okay. Who sets that? Okay. And then in the Nexus views, draw Nexus views. Okay. Instead of it just being aligned along the x-axis, okay, plus left times W times 0.5. All right. So did Ex Machina go with a profit? I feel like Ex Machina was a profitable movie, but I don't actually know. All right. These don't look as much in the world, but you can see the picture better. So I think it's preferable. I mean, obviously, we're going to have to think about how to really draw these, but yeah. Let's, for now, give some more camera space here. Just, you know, just so that these don't crop on the top so much. Again, that's something that we probably want to handle better later, but, you know what I'm saying. All right. Nexus images face the camera. I'm out of ideas of what to do tonight. Look at this. The entire piece of paper is 100% scribbled out. Ship it. Game's done. That's a wrap. I can't do a chai. I just had pizza and aloe drink and ginger ale. I can't do a chai on top of that. Does Indie Fund do any agreements for helping with marketing only? Well, so Indie Fund doesn't really market games. We don't have the facility to do that. So, like, funding for the developer to pay for marketing, maybe. We would consider that probably. But we'd have to be convinced that the developer has good ideas of how to use that money. Ex Machina isn't Guillermo del Toro, though. What? Ex Machina is like Duncan, what's his name? The moon guy. Wasn't it? Wasn't it? Alex Garland. Duncan Jones' recent Oh, Alex Garland did Annihilation. I really didn't like Annihilation. Yeah, so he did Ex Machina. That's interesting, because I liked Ex Machina. I did not like Annihilation at all. Duncan Jones has a movie called Mute that came out. Oh, he also made the Warcraft movie? Okay. And Source Code, which was... I feel like Source Code... Like, I saw it and it was kind of bad, but I feel like it might have been force edited by a Hollywood studio into a bad movie because a lot of things about it seemed screwed up. So it might have just had... Like, Source Code felt like it had a lot of interference. I'm just sad that Shane Carruth isn't making movies right now, man. That I know of. I wish he were. You guys loved Annihilation? Well, good for you. Am I planning to make a game that isn't a puzzle sometime in the future? Yes. Yes. That is in the plans. It is in the plans. Is Modern Ocean dead? Well, from what I heard, you know, they did all these announcements back when they were lining up the cast and stuff. But as far as I know, that movie never actually went into production. Is that the unannounced project on Wikipedia? I don't think so. Maybe he's doing something new. It says unrealized work. So A Topiary. That never went anywhere. And then Modern Ocean. And then, yeah. Oh, dude, he got engaged to Amy Semmets, which was his co-star from Upstream Color. Wow. That's great. That's great. They were good in that movie. They were so good in that movie. Did I read the topiary script? No. I don't want to read a movie script. I just want to see the movie, you know. Have ever played Dreaming Mary? Nope, never heard of it. Never heard of it. What should I do now? It's not so late at night that I'm passing out, so we could do more. I could design levels. Am I a fan of Martin Gardner? Some of his stuff, like I mean, Martin Gardner's done a lot of things, and I haven't seen most of it. But you know, back when he had the monthly puzzle column, that was fun. Did I make the Wolfram Tank game? Yes. Yes. Those were the days. Those were the days. Back when we barely knew how to game program. My tank game shipped? Yeah, dude. It was a team-on-team sci-fi action war game in the late 1990s to early 2000s, man. It didn't have super big audiences ever, in part just because the places where it was available didn't have super big audiences. And we didn't launch it ourselves on the internet because that didn't seem like a viable business plan back then. But also, it was not a super casual friendly game. Like, we literally used every key on the keyboard to control something in that game, and then shift some keys and control some keys also did things. We had, our targeting system in that game was kind of crazy, but I've never seen anything like it since then. It was kind of like you would enter live database queries. So you would say like NEP for like nearest enemy power station if you wanted to target that, and then you could like attack it. So we had all sorts of weird stuff in that game. Do I have a favorite, most interesting puzzle design on The Witness? I can't name a specific favorite because a lot of things were good and interesting to work on. Like, there's no one thing that stands out as being the awesome thing. Making the speed run was fun the first time because I did that over Christmas vacation, though. The soundproof basement in the town? Yeah. Those were very easy to program. It was just coming up with the idea. It was really interesting. What has been the most stressful project? Probably The Witness. The Witness was bananas, dude. Can I elaborate on was banana? Not right now. I would just, it's a long conversation. Yeah, I was really stressed for a couple of years of The Witness. It's a hard game to deal with because it's so big, and we were dealing with a lot of people, and some of the people that we needed to be more involved than they were, like, were just, yeah, there were some things that were not good. Yeah, I'm glad that The Witness did well, man, because it was not clear that it was going to do well financially, but it has. And that is great. That is great. Okay. Let's do this one. Let's build a release build in style. Gonna be styling. Let me get another aloe drink. What will be the pea in jars scandal for Sokoban? I don't know. I can't, even if I knew, I couldn't tell you my best PR secrets ahead of time. The color mixing puzzles in The Witness, in which the room lights change the colors of the dots. Are there people for who that was easy and intuitive? Those are sort of designed so that you probably have to use a piece of paper. Like I do them when I go back and solve those, I use a piece of paper because there's just a lot of dots on those. Okay. And like realizing that you can do them with a pencil and paper is maybe part of the challenge. Okay. Let's load this. Whoops. Let's load this. And we'll go to, and we'll say, knock stones. Save as knock stones. And we're gonna use our new ocean capabilities. Ocean Man. Look how much easier this is. Oh my God. It's crazy. Why didn't I do this a long time ago? Whoops. Did the wrong thing. Ocean Man. All right. So much faster. Okay. So this one, it's not going to have any river currents. It's not going to have any lily pads. It's going to have 2 characters and a mirror and, well, actually, something like this, and something like this. So we'll go there and there, and we'll turn the stone speed down so this is tractable. And then actually, let's do this. Well, we'll start with this stone down here, but that probably makes the puzzle too obvious, so we'll do something else in a minute. I think we need, yeah. Let's see, the timing on this one is going to be really hard to deal with. We could put a lily pad just to slow it down. So, like, yeah. And we could make it even, can make it kind of red herring-y. So like, I think I'm supposed to push the stone and get on it, but that'll just take me off the map. Okay, I dig it. I dig it. We need some better camera sliding controls in the editor. We need to just be able to pan around in X, Y. All right. So that's the camera. Okay. Oh, oh no. Yeah, okay, we have that. Okay. So the idea here is going to be is that no. Right. So it's not solvable yet because we're going to need 2 mirrors, but oh, where's the, so let's get that there. I just want to get the rest of it. So we're going to want to push that, and push that. There we go. So that looks like it's deep in the water, but actually I could stand on that. That's just too far. It's 2 squares too far. No. So we just adjust the spacing till this works. I actually could bring this island more to the south because, I don't know. I mean, that might make it less clear, but actually, yeah. Actually, now this is solvable with cheese. We don't want that. We don't want it to be solvable with cheese. So we need this to be able to get to this column, 3 over. And then we need a mirror to be able to get there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. All right, let's try that. Okay. Oh, right. It's one to the south. So it's still not going to be enough. Brown. So we need one more. We can do this, right? Whoops. I did the wrong thing. We want to do that. We want to do that. We want to go boom shaka. Boom. And then boom. All right. So then we just need a mirror on this island and we're done. Well, you know, it needs to be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 south and yeah, 5 east. So like, right? And then for extra bonus, once this is winnable, then we start both stones on the other side. This is going to maybe be too hard. I don't know, man. Puzzles are always harder than you think they are. Whoops. So there, and then there. Whoa, I duplicated myself. Whoops. Right. That is a thing I didn't think of. How do I not frickin' duplicate myself? Maybe I do. Maybe there's just 3 exits. Let's do that for now. Because there's no... that really starts to defocus the puzzle. Okay, hold on. If I block one, See, this would be a good, like, last second situation. Because you think you've solved the puzzle, and then you're like, Durr! Okay, so we go there. We go there. All right. So now she's going to go there. Now, I don't remember how the mirror rules go, but I think if I block this, oh, she just can't go on that mirror, but yeah, we don't allow that. Okay, no, it is solvable though, almost. All right, watch this evil. Watch this evil. This is frickin' evil. We're gonna slow down a little bit the skipping stone timing. Time per skip 0.2. Or 0.2 for initial skip, 0.1. We're just slowing it down a bit. I don't remember what we set the timings to. Yeah. All right. So we're going to do the intersection one further out. Going to do it here. 2, 3. There we go. Now, oh wait, now she can't go far enough. Brr, we need even one more. All right, so we go there. Now, we do need to mirror her, but to not clone her, we need to block the mirror path with this other stone. So watch this shit. That does kind of own. I could even make it harder. Like I could make it that you have to pass the stones from left to right somehow, but I don't think we really need to make it any harder. If it was a wrapping level, we could get by with one less stone probably, but nah, we have a lot of wrapping levels. 15 hours of gameplay. You would rage quit this so fast? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. Would you? Would you rage quit this so fast? Let me sign this level so people know who to get mad at. Oh, it is signed. All right. So there's only 3 stones, and this gap is wider than 3, so you can't do any obvious cheese like fill in 3. Actually, you could if you filled in 1, 2, 3, and then had the lily pad go. But the problem is you need to spend 1 to make the lily pad, and then you can't fill with it. So I don't think it's possible to exploit. Oh, but you could, okay. If you could get her down here below the mirror, and you maybe filled in, yeah, you would, nah, I mean, so in a lot of games, you know, you hire QA people to play through. We're going to, I think, hire testers to try to exploit all the levels and solve them in ways they're not meant to be solved. Because in this game, that's really going to happen a lot. But at first glance, I don't see a problem. Okay, recording. And there and there. So when we do the visual presentation of this level, we are gonna need to make the gridding in the ocean clear. You know. All right. All right, playback. Play ball. And you could do that same level without the lily pad. It would just be really annoyingly hard. Could I add another lily pad so that the timing isn't tight? No, because that would change what was happening. Oh, you mean to block the thing with? Possibly, yes. I'm just wary. I'm wary of making the level too complicated by adding more things, because it's probably pretty hard already. So, like adding another thing that people have to think about is questionable. Will this editor be available as part of the game? Not sure. Is this game mostly based on puzzle isles? No, it's just that's what I've been working on lately is island levels, but there's lots of different kinds of levels in the game. Why does a stone permanently break the mirror line even after it passes through? It does not permanently break the mirror line. It only occludes it while it's there. So watch. I'll do the level up until whoops. Okay. So we're gonna just do it up until the last part, right? So we're here, and then we want to break the mirror line. So I'm just going to push it, but I'm not going to teleport. And you'll see the little mirror line disappear and then reappear. See? It just happens kind of fast. I'll slow down time a bit. And then we just need to make that more obvious with the way that we draw things, but it will be. Like when we block the energy beams by stones, it's really obvious. And this is not going to look like an energy beam, but it'll be more like that, where it's like streaks coming off the volume of the player will get blocked. So it'll be more clear. Don't you worry about that. What level set do I put this in? I guess just playable right now. Yeah, right. Once the character teleports, there won't be a line anymore because we don't draw the line when there's no character. Did I check in the test? I recorded the test because, whoops. Oh, level, knock, stones. All right. So here's my test playing back. So that worked. I just don't know if I checked it in. I think I did. Yeah. Oh, nope. Yes. Move, knock, stones to playable. Well, that was fun. Maybe what I want to do now is go back to this playable and start breaking this into more like Nexus. God, I keep unplugging my keyboard. It's the one bad thing about this keyboard. Like, maybe I want to try to organize this into more subgroups, because that's what we're trying to do as time goes on. What's the general consensus on UI programming? I think it just takes a lot more work than you think always, and that makes it maybe a little bit not fun. You know, UI programming is always a lot of work. Like, by the time you get to the point where you're nudging things around so that they look like they're correctly spaced, and then you have to do that at different aspect ratios and whatever, it's like, oh man, that takes forever. Forever. So way back, Maya sent me a list of how she thought her levels in mine that existed at the time might get grouped. Yeah. Let's do some of these. Fuse, fuse 2, fuse 3, fuse 4, swap places 2, double mirror, Druid Isles, which we took out. So this is handled. You guys can't see the spreadsheet that I'm working on, but I don't want to. Google, just let me make a copy of the Google Doc. Maya won't let me edit her thing. Make a copy. There we go. There we go. Okay. So these, oh, dude, Google Docs is so slow now. We're gonna make this gray. Okay, good. Okay. Now I remember. I guess she never saw those levels. Bard and Stones. No, this is a pretty good selection right here. I mean, this will probably get bigger, but all right. Stones and mirrors. Let's put the Bard levels together. Gonna make a Bard and Stones level set. It's version 1. Bard skip. Oh, Bard skip 2, hostages, slot machine. Okay, minimal Bard stone. She has that. She has Bard 2 stone. She has Bard gated platform. Skipper Friends is probably new. Okay. So where are these? Are these in Polished Maya? Slot Machine. Slot Machine 3. Stone Crossbard. I don't know if we have that. Bard skip. Bard skip 2, hostages, slot machine 3, stone cross. I think hold on. Is that in a level set? Or did we take it out? Whoops. It's in like drafts, I think. Awaiting revision of the Druid rules. Okay. We're just going to put that here because we'll notice if it doesn't work. Okay. 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 Slot Machine 3, Stone Crossbard, Lily Manip. Lily Manip. Where is this one? Is that also Drafts Maya? Yeah. Seems like it'll need changes. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to need to do this differently. Okay, so that doesn't go in here. Minimal Bard stone, 2 stone. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 levels. She has 12 listed. Okay, that's good. So I got them all. And we will make those gray. Okay, so let's check out Bard skip. Okay. So this one, I don't know. Oh. Whoops. All right. Uh-oh. I may have done it wrong here, people. Whoops. Don't remember how to do this. I used to remember. So this one is just the other one. Oh, right. But it's different because you could do that. So it's... All right. Trying to remember how to do this level. I mean, that's the same thing that I was just doing, and it doesn't really work. Oh, well, now I've just done this again, though. Bro. I figured it out. Whoops. I figured it out. Okay, so the same thing should work here. So if I can remember what I just did, I mean, shouldn't matter that much, right? Yeah, we just did this and then kept them lined up. Whoops. So these don't seem like different enough, except that I have to go pull this off, but that doesn't matter. So these are really variants of the same level. And I think the only reason, well, I don't, yeah. I think Bard Skip 2 is better. See, we don't try to maximize the number of levels we're shipping. Okay. So these are like Bard Island adventure levels, and anything else involving the Bard, which there are some. Let's look. Let's see if I could remember any. Wolfboat Bard, Wizard Drop. Heroes and Beams. All right. I feel like we're going to want to group this with some other set of levels. Because this maybe isn't enough by itself. Maybe it is. I don't know. We're figuring these things out. Okay, so we're going to make a thing. We're going to load this. We're going to save this as Bard and Stones Nexus. We're going to go to the overworld. We're going to add a Bard and Stones. So this one unlocks this one unlocks from Skipping Stones 1:14:12, and from this one 1:12:25. And we're going to go to this. We're going to put that there. We'll make our river a little bit different, just I don't know why. Oops. There we go. Whatever. It's dumb. It's dumb. Don't ask me. Okay. So this is going to have Bard Skip 2, hostages. See, Stonecross Bard. That's different enough from Stonecross, I guess. Yeah. So Bard Skip 2. Let's say stone cross barred on that one. What's slot machine? I think I know. Yeah. Slot machine 3. Hostages is this one. Barred 2 stone is that one. So for a while, these are going to be the barred by herself. Maybe like even stone cross barred is going to be here. Yeah. And barred gated platform. Which one is barred 2 stone? That one. Yeah, that's right before barred gated platform. Do minimal barred stone there. So we're going to do a bunch of barred solo levels and then and then barred with friends. This one just seems trivial. Easy situation. It's just getting warmed up, I guess, right? I mean, come on, bruh. So easy. Oh, except it's not. Well, you have to push her. Yeah. Okay. Easy situation is going to be the first with friends. Okay. So then, let's not forget to add this to the source control. Okay, now we got to put all these in the nexus. So barred skip 2, slot machine 3. I think okay. Okay. Okay, slot machine 3. Okay. Then barred skip 2. Which frickin' one is that? This one. This one. Okay, so barred skip 2. Barred 2 stone. Okay, barred skip 2. Let's move some of this. This is going to be barred skip 2. We're going to unlock that, and we're going to unlock the, hold on. A barred 2 stone, barred gated platform, minimal barred stone. Since this one is pretty hard, we're putting it in a separate lineup. And then easy situations, skipper friends, hostages, and stone crossbarred. Oh. Okay, so now we just hook these up. Okay, these three are going to be unlocked from left with no IDs. This one is going to be unlocked by that one, 16165. All right, we're going to do that. These two are unlocked from left. This one is unlocked by 16159. So is that one. And they're already set. So let's just do that. And that's that. Rat tat tat. Oh. Well. Do that. We're not really attempting to aesthetically lay this out yet. Let's give this one a little respect. Okay. Okay. There we go. Will I write a thing that auto-generates this map? No, because we want it to be hand-generated, because thought goes into these groupings. Okay. So now there's also these well, let me check this in. Okay. So we had some river stuff. These are river maze. Maybe that's a different thing from just river diversions. I don't know. Oops. Oh, I have a bug that I never fixed, that mirrors don't sync anymore. Whoops. Okay, let's... Whoops. Okay, and of course the joke is that you got to get these off the wall before you do that. Okay. And then of course the joke is, all right. And then of course the joke is that I screwed up and I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Yep, this is a good level. Good level. I think this is one of Maya's levels. I'll check that. I mean, it seems a little bit like it has a lot of moving parts, but it's fine. Or is this my level? I don't even know. Sometimes I just don't even know. It's mine. I made this. I thought it was someone else's. But no, it is mine. I bet I made it like 3 days ago and I just forgot. Why not make a level that is trivial to solve in n moves, but you require it to be solved in n-1 moves? And in that case is very hard. Why not make that level? Because we already have that level. My Tyler Durden is also a puzzle designer. Yeah. I was convinced this was one of Maya's because I didn't remember it, but like I bet I literally made... Let's find out how many days ago I made this. This one is River Push. This is me getting senile. Data levels. River Push. Show log. Wednesday, November 28th. That was 5 days ago. It's what happens when you do a lot of work on a game. You forget the things that you did. Yeah, November 28th. Oh, I remember this one. Let's see if we can solve it now. I mean, I just want it to be down there. It's just about knowing the right place. The trick is, how do I get it? Oh, yeah. So you just go there. This is a relatively early one. It's just about knowing the river direction thing, and then you just do this and that. Easy one. I remember designing this one. Might have even done it on stream, for all I know. Okay. This one, I remember this one as well. Oops. Nope, I'm hitting the wrong keys. Character switch. Why am I character switching when there's only one character? This is also in my notes, I think. so I can check it out of the notes. And then this ends like the previous level. All right. And then this one, see, this starts to be a little bit like the river diversion levels. This is the epicycle one. I remember this one. This one's very recent. Okay, and then, so that's all of those. Yeah, so do these go with river maze, or do they go in their own river-related set with some other stuff? Hard to say. Okay. River maze. Wait, what was I thinking? Oh, right. I get to cross some stuff out of level ideas. We did those. Oh my God, so many level ideas. There's too many levels in this game. I'm starting to get tired. I could go to bed at any time. We had a very productive day. Yeah, there's no official name for this game yet. No official name. Well, everybody, what do you say? Do I stop the stream? Sokoban. That could be interesting. It's like Candy Crush Sokoban. Could always just go to blackout. Nah. We got a lot done this weekend. Yesterday and today were real good for putting things in the game. I kind of want it. I'm motivated to do more level organization. It's just when it's late at night and I'm not that awake, it's not the best time to do it, because doing a good job of this is about, you know, cross-referencing everything in your head, which gets harder when you get tired. Also, I should talk to Matt tomorrow about the categories, because the spreadsheet I was looking at is one that Maya made like 4 months ago, before any of his levels existed and before some of mine existed. And so there might be some obvious categories that we can make that would not be apparent without having that discussion. So I've already, like over the past couple of days, I went and grouped together a lot of things in playable here. So some of these could be like pulled out, and like especially this Heroes and Beams section, like that's kind of enough for its own area probably, but then a lot of Matt's levels have beams also. So maybe these would be better grouped with some of those, and then the endpoint suspend levels could go with a couple of his, I don't know. He definitely has some about endpoint beams holding things up. Anyway, I don't think it's sit rep time. I think it is bedtime. What time is it where I live? It's only 11:30 p.m. It's not super late. But I've been programming a lot. The code is not done with you. It's 1 million o'clock there. Okay. 1 million o'clock. You know, I designed a lot of levels in the past few weeks. I feel good about that too. It's been a good time for the game for me. Oh yeah, what's Maya's turret level thing? That's I forget what that's called. Anyway, yeah, so we'll talk tomorrow about probably level groupings. And I don't know, and we'll see what else. It's good. So, you know, we're going into December, and in December, so Matt's internship ends soon, which means we'll have less level production for a while. And people start going on vacation, which means different parts of the schedule start slowing down because people are at Christmas. So it's good to have just gotten the game to this point when we're going to have a bunch of overworld groupings and all the code is in place to do that. I had wanted to do the movement robustness before now, but it's fine that I didn't because really not a lot of people are waiting on it. There's a few levels that don't work because of gameplay bugs, but I feel like it's not that many. I haven't looked at the list lately, but this was more important, so I'm glad that we did it. Rotating cavalry, you're right, that's the one I was thinking of. I'm not sure if it really should go. It's like, so this is the ones I did a week or two ago about blocking the endpoint beam to hold things up in different ways. And like, so maybe if there's enough levels about, so I think you have some more about blocking endpoint beams, and those could be like at the advanced, after these, like as advanced. And then I think there's several, oh, you have a bunch actually about teleporting things to infinity, like all those monster levels. So maybe there's an area that's like one set of them is teleporting things to infinity, and then the other set of them is blocking the beams so that they don't teleport to infinity, right? And that, at that point, that's probably at least like 15 levels total when you add those two together, 16. And that could be a good area, I think. Did I fix that compiler bug from the other day? No, unfortunately. They're actually, they are supposed to sort of be dragon statues, but the only reason we did that is because they don't really move, but goblins don't move either, so I don't know, man. They should maybe just be dragons. Endpoint trials, yeah. Well, you know, we can put together the list tomorrow, but that, so that, for example, seems to me like a pretty good level set. But I don't really know, you know, I don't really know what size we should target for these. And maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe some of them can have a lot and some of them can have a few levels. Yeah. Endpoint trials. Oh, you had, right, you already have it in a level set. Okay. Yeah, so maybe we just move the other stuff into this one and organize them. Yep. Yeah. And then dig out the ones that you have about endpoint blocking as well and put them in that maybe. I'm not going to do it now because like I said, we'll give the brain a rest. I also kind of want to do this one because these are all wrapping levels. Like I did this one a long time ago, which was this really trippy, you guys have seen this one if you've been on the stream, right? And then that inspired some other levels. And so we have, you know, we have a bunch of levels like that. Just 7 right now that I remember, maybe more. But then putting those in a like level nexus that's also wrapping, because that would be the only one of those, would be super cool. So I want to do that tomorrow as well. I think if I update, there will be more. I updated this morning. Maybe they're not checked in on your Office machine or something. Or maybe you just didn't move everything in there. Yeah. I don't go to GDC much anymore, but if you are looking for a job in games, GDC is really not a bad place to go. All right, everybody, thanks for coming to the stream. Let's find somebody to host.
You're the legendary one.
Not Pokemon. We're not 5 years old. Pulling in FFBE. I don't know what that is. Then ILB time.
Like, I mean, make it slow on the surface.
They already have a bunch of users, but
more rapid in the dungeon. Like, the lower you go, the more hunger it takes. Almost like a sanity or something. Which makes some sense. And would help with some of the newbies and all of those kind of things. But honestly, in Nightmare difficulty, that doesn't make sense at all. Like, I want Nightmare and other...
Let's read them, because they're talking through stuff.
Worlds that you would visit.
Thanks a lot for coming by.
Anyway. So,
and we'll see you all later.
Maybe there's an exception for those things. I love how the cat was like doing some herky-jerky thing in the air.
I'm having a hard time putting blocks in the background, by the way. I don't know why. Ooh.
Maybe I don't check the way that you're expecting.